So, students, welcome to this lecture series. Today, we are going to see the concept of decay constant in nuclear physics. In fact, it is radioactive decay constant. And though the words are decay constant, we should keep in mind that it is not a constant quantity for every radioactive nuclei or nuclei of every radioactive element. It is not a constant quantity. The radioactive decay constant, as we have seen in previous classes, that it is denoted by the Greek letter lambda, and lambda has different values for different radioactive nuclei. Therefore, you should keep in mind that though it is called a radioactive decay constant, it is not a constant for all the radioactive nuclei. For every radioactive nuclei, lambda has different but a constant value. So, by the law of radioactive decay constant, we have seen that minus dN upon dt is equal to lambda into capital N. Here lambda was the radioactive decay constant and capital N is the number of radioactive nuclei that are present at any instant of time t. So if I make the rearrangement of the terms, then I can write minus dN upon dt divided by capital N. This is equal to radioactive decay constant lambda. So from this, we can make a statement or a definition for radioactive decay constant. And the decay constant of a radioactive nuclei is defined as the ratio of rate of radioactive disintegrations or decay. In this case, it is denoted by minus dN upon dt. So the ratio of rate of radioactive disintegrations or decay to the total number of radioactive nuclei, capital N, present at a given instant of time t. This ratio is called the radioactive decay constant lambda. And what is the unit of radioactive decay constant? It is second inverse, means 1 by second. You can also call it per second. So the unit of radioactive decay constant is per second. Let N0 be the total number of nuclei of the radioactive element at the given initial time t is equal to 0. Let capital N be the number of nuclei of radioactive element present at any instant of time t. Now see that I can also call this capital N as the number of undecayed nuclei. Why? Because if a substance is radioactive and there are N0 nuclei at initial time t is equal to 0, as the time passes, some nuclei get disintegrated or decayed. Now, if n nuclei, capital N nuclei remain after time t, it simply means that n number of nuclei have remained undecayed or undisintegrated or undecayed at after time t. So n also represents the total number of undecayed nuclei at the time t. Now by law of radioactive decay, I can write n is equal to n0 e raised to the power minus lambda into t. So if I make rearrangement of the terms, then n upon n0 is equal to e raised to the power minus lambda into t. This is our equation 3. Now, if I take the time t is equal to 1 by lambda, means I substitute t is equal to 1 by lambda in equation 3, then the equation 3 takes the form n upon n0 is equal to e raised to the power minus lambda into 1 by lambda. So lambda in the numerator and denominator gets cancelled and we get n upon n0 is equal to e raised to the power minus 1. And so I can write n upon n0 is equal to 1 upon e. E raised to the power minus 1, I can write it as 1 upon e. But we know that the value of e is equal to 2.718. And if I substitute it, I get n upon n0 is equal to 1 upon 2.718. And upon calculation, 1 upon 2.718, this comes out to be 0.3679. So my final expression looks like n upon n0 is equal to 0.3679. So I can write n is equal to n0 into 0.3679, and if I want to write it in terms of percentage, it becomes n is equal to n0 into 36.79%. If I round it off, 36.79 can be rounded off to 37%. So I get n is equal to 37% of n0. When this happens, if I put t is equal to 1 by lambda. So my final conclusion is that for time t is equal to 1 by lambda, the total number of nuclei that remain, n is equal to 37% of initial number of nuclei n0. Now from this I can conclude that at time t is equal to 1 by lambda, the number of nuclei that remain undecayed is equal to 37% of initial number of nuclei, that was n0. So we have to now construct another definition of decay constant lambda. We have observed that for time t is equal to 1 by lambda, n is equal to n0 times 1 by e. N is equal to 1 by e into n0 at lambda is equal to 1 by t. See here, at t is equal to 1 by lambda, I have got n upon n0 is equal to 1 by e. So I can make a rearrangement of terms. This t is equal to 1 by lambda, I can write it as lambda is equal to 1 by t. And when lambda is equal to 1 by t, n, the total number of nuclei that remain undecayed, that is capital N, it is equal to 1 by e times the initial number of nuclei n0. N is equal to 1 by e times n0 when lambda is equal to 1 by t. So from here we can construct another definition of the decay constant lambda. Decay constant lambda of a radioactive nuclei is defined as the reciprocal of the time t, after which the total number of radioactive nuclei, that is capital N, that remain undecayed or that remain present is equal to 1 by e times of the initial number of nuclei n0. So the reciprocal of the time t, after which the total number of nuclei that remain undecayed or that remain present is equal to 1 by E times the initial number of nuclei n0. The reciprocal of that time, it is called the decay constant lambda. Though it is decay constant, it is not a constant quantity. It is different for different radioactive nuclei. Each radioactive nuclei have different value of radioactive decay constant lambda. So now we look into an important relation in radioactivity. By the law of radioactivity, we have seen that the total number of nuclei that remain present at any instant of time t, suppose it is denoted by capital N, then capital N is equal to N0 e raised to the power minus lambda into t, where N0 is the initial number of nuclei, N is the total number of undecayed nuclei at the time t, and lambda is the decay constant. Suppose this is our equation 1. Now in this case I have just explained that N0 is the initial number of nuclei at time t is equal to 0 and N is the nuclei at any instant of time t. Now let capital T denote the half-life period of that particular radioactive nuclei. Now at t small t, time t is equal to half-life period capital T. What happens? Half of the initial number of nuclei, they disintegrate or decay. Therefore, after half-life period capital T, half of the nuclei have disintegrated, means only the remaining half, N0 divided by 2, this much nuclei, they are present or they are undecayed after half-life period capital T. So at half-life period T is equal to capital T. At half-life period capital T, the total number of nuclei that remain undecayed is given by N is equal to N0 divided by 2. So put this in the law of radioactive decay. So instead of N, I will be putting N0 divided by 2, and instead of time T, I will be putting half-life period capital T. So now my expression A looks like N0 divided by T is equal to N0 e raised to the power minus lambda into capital T. Now remember that here capital T is the half-life period. So N0 on left hand side and right hand side gets cancelled, and I get 1 by 2 is equal to e raised to the power minus lambda into capital T. This is our expression B. Now from A and B, if I multiply and divide by capital T in the power of the exponential term, so I can write in the equation A. My equation A was N is equal to N0 e raised to the power minus lambda into small t. In that expression, I am multiplying and dividing by capital T in the exponential term. So my equation looks like N upon N0 is equal to e raised to the power minus lambda into capital T and multiplied by small t upon capital T. So N upon N0 e is equal to e raised to the power minus lambda into capital T, and this whole term is now raised to the power t, small t upon capital T. This is our expression C. Now compare the equation B and C, and we can substitute e raised to the power minus lambda into capital T is equal to 1 by 2 from equation B into equation C. So my new equation that is obtained is n upon n0 is equal to 1 by 2 raised to the power small t upon capital T. Now just remember here, small t is any present instant of time, and capital T in this case is the half-life period of the radioactive nuclei. There is a difference. So I get n upon n0. This is equal to 1 by 2 raised to the power small t upon capital T. Small t is the any instant of time and capital T is the half-life period of the radioactive nuclei. Now this relation is very important in radioactivity because this relation helps us to find the amount of radioactive substance that remains undecayed after a certain instant of time t. Or on the other hand, it also helps us to calculate the time required for the radioactive substance to decay or disintegrate by a particular amount. Now to understand this, let us take a simple example. Our example is that half-life of radium-226, radium-226, that is the atomic number, is 1600 years. Find the time after which 0.125 gram of radium remains out of 1 gram. So what do we understand from this problem? That the initial quantity of radium-226 was 1 gram. So N0 is equal to 1 gram. The quantity that remains present or undecayed, that is equal to N, capital N, and it is equal to 0.125 gram. Half-life period of radium-226, that is capital T, is equal to 1600 years. And we have to find the small time t, small t. So we have to find the time after which the amount of radium present will be 0.125 grams. So we are going to use the previous relation, n upon n0. This is equal to 1 by 2 raised to the power small t upon capital T. We have to find capital T. So just substitute the values. Now n is equal to 0.125 gram. N0 was 1 gram. Now this is equal to 1 by 2 raised to the power small t upon capital T, and capital T in this case was 1600 years. So I get an expression 0.125 divided by 1. This is equal to 1 by 8. 1 by 8 is equal to 1 by 2 raised to the power t upon 1600 years. So finally, I can write this 1 by 8 in powers of 1 by 2. So 1 by 8 is equal to 1 by 2 raised to the power 3. And this is equal to 1 by 2 small t upon 1600 years. So now compare the indices or the power of 1 by 2 in this particular relation. So if I compare the power, I will get 3 is equal to small t upon 1600 years. I have compared here the powers or indices of 1 by 2. So 3 is equal to t upon 1600 years. Now from this I can calculate that the time required, small t is equal to 1600 into 3, that is equal to 4800 years. So this relation n upon n0 is equal to 1 by 2 raised to the power small t upon capital T is an important relation. It helps us to find the amount of substance that remains undecayed after certain time, or vice versa. It also helps us to find the time required for certain amount of radioactive substance to get decayed by certain amount, say by half, by 1 by 4 or 1 by 8 and so on. Now the same problem can be calculated by alternative method. Here some logical thinking is to be done. See, the example is same, that half-life of radium is radium 226 is 1600 years. Find the time after which 0.125 gram of radium remains out of 1 gram. Now here we are using a different approach. So at initial time t, radium 226 present was 1 gram. Now according to definition of half-life period, after completion of one half-life period, whatever was the initial amount of substance, it gets reduced by half. Now in this case, radium 226 is having a half-life of 1600 years and initial amount of substance was 1 gram. So what should happen after first half-life period, that is after passing out of 1600 years, radium 226 should be reduced to half of initial amount. So initial amount was 1 gram. So after 1600 years, that is first half-life period, the amount of radium 226 present will be 0.5 gram. It is reduced to half of initial value. Now after second half-life period, after second half-life period means what? First half-life 1600, second half-life 1600. If you add both of them, after second half-life period, total time that have passed is 3200 years. And so the radium 226 is again divided by half. So 0.5 now reduces to 0.25. Now after third half-life period, again 1600 years have passed. So total time passed is 4800 years. The radium 226 is again reduced by half, means 0.25 gram. It becomes half, and that is equal to 0.125 gram. So this is the amount of substance that we desire or we have got in this problem. There's amount of substance left is 0.125 grams. So how much has the time period passed for a substance to reduce from 1 gram to 0.125 gram? It is 4800 years. So therefore the time required for the 1 gram of substance to reduce to 0.125 gram, it is small t is equal to 4800 years. This is alternative method to find the time period required for decay of certain amount of substance. Both the methods are equally correct. In second method, you have to do some logical thinking, while in the first method, you have to use a formula. So that is all about the decay constant and the formula which is used to find the amount of substance that have decayed or amount of substance that have remained present after certain instant of time t. So that's all.